Welcome back to the 8:30 show. It's been a minute since we did an episode. We were waiting on a couple of things to develop before we went ahead and did an episode. On this one, we're going to touch a little bit about the Kamala Harris speech, the Biden speech, and we're going to follow that up with Sonya Massey, the body cam footage from her.
Yeah.
As everybody is well aware, at this point in time, Joe Biden has dropped out. We covered it on our previous news break. And Kamala has stepped up to be the Democratic nominee.
And has been endorsed over and over and over again.
Yeah. I think she's like the fastest growing, what is it, when they get fundraising
nominee
for her campaign run.
Yeah.
Kudos to her for that. That's
Yeah.
a hell of an achievement. She only has 3 months, so hopefully she will accept the nominee.
I really would love to see her win. I would love to see her win. I would love to see something good happen, you know?
Yeah. I would love to see it because I would love to see a black woman as president.
That would be awesome.
Not only you see a woman, but you also have a black woman. I hope to see that in my lifetime. And the fact that, I saw a black man as a president.
Yeah.
So that's one down.
I mean, for me, it's like representation of my people.
Yeah.
I am a woman.
Yeah.
She is my person.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
As
just like, a lot of women felt with Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
A woman running for president.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
As for her getting my vote, still on the fence on that. I don't know what I want to do.
Where does she stand on the topics?
Yeah. I mean,
where does she stand, period?
Yeah, and when she ran on the previous time around, I wasn't for her. It wasn't anything about her other than what she was standing on at that point.
I was for her. I was for a woman vice president. I was hoping to see more of her while she was vice president, but I didn't, like I said before, I didn't really see much of her. But hopefully that'll be different as president, you know, and I hope she can bring some change if she were to be elected.
Yeah. And like I said, at the time that she ran for presidency back in 2020, it wasn't that I had anything against her specifically. The candidate that I was feeling was a different candidate.
No, I know.
So that being said, let's go ahead and let's check out her speech and see what she has to say.
I haven't watched this, so I don't know what she's going to say. So
Me neither. Been radio silent.
It is so good to hear our president's voice. Joe, I know you're still on the call. And we've been talking every day. You guys heard it from Doug's voice. We love Joe and Jill. We really do. They truly are like family to us. And we do, everybody here does.
It's mutual.
I knew you were still there. You're not going anywhere, Joe.
I'm watching you, kid. I'm watching you, kid. I love you.
I love you, Joe. Oh.
That's cool. You'll endorse
So,
her.
Joe, I'm going to recognize some of the electeds who are here, and then I'm going to get back to you. Hold on a second. So let me please acknowledge some extraordinary national leaders who are also dear friends, both to the president and to me. Governor John Carney, where are you? There you are. And his wife, they are here. Senator Tom Carper, my former colleague, and his wife is here. Chris Coons, my dear friend. Attorney General Kathy Jennings. The mayor is here. Przicki, where are you? There. And the next United States Senator from the great state of Delaware is here, Lisa Rochester. And I know everyone here has seen these elected leaders in this very campaign office on a regular basis. And I know Joe is so thankful to them for their lifelong friendship, but I want to thank them also because you guys have really been carrying some heavy water from the first days of our campaign. So thank you all. This truly is a Delaware family. Thank you. I want to thank Jen O'Malley Dillon. Where is she, Jen? I'm going to talk about her in a minute. Julie Chavez Rodriguez.
This ain't a speech, this is a shout out.
Sheila Nix.
She ain't said nothing yet.
And the entire team that is here. I want to thank all of you and those who are joining from offices across our nation. So Doug and I wanted to stop by today to thank everybody and to express just what we know to be true. You all have been working so hard. The people in this office have been working so hard. And you have given so much of yourselves, long days and nights, what you are sacrificing in terms of the time you could be spending with other friends and other family. And you're giving yourselves to our country because you love our country and you love Joe and you love me, and we know that. And so today, just right after Joe made his announcement, it was important for me to continue with his role of leadership in this office, of like him, who has said for many, many, many months, and I say it today, thank you all so very much for what you are doing and what you will continue to do. So let's applaud the team.
She still ain't said shit. Still ain't said shit. I know it's been a
roller coaster, and we're all filled with so many mixed emotions about this. I just have to say, I love Joe Biden. I love Joe Biden, and I know we all do, and we have so many darn good reasons for loving Joe Biden. And I have full faith that this team will be the reason we win in November. You all who are here. And as Julie always says, and I will quote the great Julie, we are one team, one fight. One team, one fight. And she's been an extraordinary campaign manager. She's going to continue in this role and see us to victory in November. And we are all here because we love our country, right? And we believe in our foundational principles. We believe in freedom and opportunity and justice, not for some, but for all. And so we have 106 days until Election Day, and in that time we have some hard work to do. And as JOD always reminds us, we can do hard things. JOD has been such an incredible leader of this team, and that is why I have just asked her to run my campaign, and she has accepted. And so over the next 106 days, we are going to...
Look, I mean, I'm not trying to poo-poo on her. I'm just saying, like, what do we expect her to really say? I don't expect her to start telling us, this is what I'm going to do for America. You know what I mean? I get that it's a whole, like, shout out to everybody.
That's what I expect her to be doing. Like, okay, she got the shout outs and she still ain't said nothing. She been shouting out.
What do you want her to say? You know what I mean?
She been shouting out for 5 minutes. 5 minutes of shout outs. Like,
yeah.
Come on now, like.
All right. We still got quite a ways to go.
Take our case to the American people, and we are going to win. We are going to win. And so now I'm getting back to you, Joe. I will tell you, it has been one of the greatest honors of my life, truly, to serve as vice president to our president, Joe Biden. Joe's legacy of accomplishment, just over a lifetime, but just over the last 3.5 years, is unmatched in modern history. In one term, he has already surpassed the legacy of most presidents who served 2 terms in office. Think about it. And I know everyone here in the campaign, we know. But if we don't know, we got a problem.
This video is so choppy.
But I'm going to repeat some for those who might be guests at the moment. Joe got the COVID-19 pandemic under control. Remember those days? He has created more than 15 million new jobs. He
No, he
brought
hasn't.
together Republicans and Democrats and passed historic
No, he
legislation.
hasn't.
And I'm going to tell you, I'm a firsthand witness to all this work. I would sit with Joe in the Oval Office while he would bring.
You are entitled to your opinion.
The jobs that
But
they.
all right, no.
Hold on.
You
hold
hold on, sir, because I cut this shit off first.
Hold on. Okay,
No,
go
you
ahead.
hold
Go
on.
ahead. Go ahead.
I understand that you have a position and you have your opinion,
Yeah.
but can we hold it till it's over?
I can't win.
I see you.
But she spilled some lies right there. Like, come on. Like, they didn't create more jobs. The jobs went back to people. Went back to work.
You over here slinging shit, and she ain't even done.
Well, I mean,
Look, to me, they all lie. They all lie, and they all sell whatever it is that they want to sell to us. And you got people out there like, yeah, I get it.
yeah, it's
but let's
2024.
finish.
You can't be slinging lies like motherfucking crack cocaine.
All right,
on the
let's
corner.
finish though, and then you can say no, no.
I ain't gonna remember then.
Of both sides of the aisle and talk and listen and help them see what they may have in common and how we can actually work towards solutions. And because of their confidence in Joe, these accomplishments occurred. Joe has stood up for democracy at home, and he
I hate
has
that
stood
this
up
video
for
is so
democracy
choppy.
abroad,
I know.
and he has always stood up for what he believes is
I'll do
right.
better next time.
And
Sorry.
many of you may know, I first came to know Joe through his son, Bo. Bo and I worked together as state attorneys general. And back then, Bo would often tell me stories about his dad. And he would talk about the kind of father and the kind of man that Joe Biden is. And he would talk about the qualities of his father. And the qualities that Bo revered the most are the same qualities that I see every day in our president. His honesty, his integrity, his commitment to his faith and his family. His
She
big
glazing
heart,
on for like 5-6
and
minutes.
his deep love of our country.
Let me hear your
And I
plan,
don't need
lady.
to tell you all, you know Joe's background, right? I mean, he grew up in a middle-class family in Scranton, and he has never forgotten where
She
he
ain't
comes
got
from.
no plan yet.
And so, again, I am a first-hand witness from being with him in the Oval Office to the Situation Room and seeing him on the global stage with world leaders. President Joe Biden fights for the American people, and we are deeply, deeply grateful for his service to our nation.
Yada, yada, yada. That's all
You
I
are
hear.
so rude.
All I hear. Yada, yada, yada.
Joe, are you watching? You hear this clapping? Can you see it?
This shit froze.
I'm watching. I'm watching. You're the best, kid.
And let us be very clear, Joe is not done. Far from it. He knows there is still more work to do, and our nation will continue to praise. Joe, are you watching? You hear this clapping? Can you see it?
I'm watching.
I want to see it.
I'm watching.
I want to hear something of interest.
You're the
So
best,
what?
kid.
Something of interest. She can glaze it on for like 6 whole
And let us
minutes.
be very clear, Joe is not done. Far from it. He knows there is still more work to do, and our nation will continue to praise his bold and visionary leadership as president. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
And it is my great honor to have Joe's endorsement in this race.
You sure do.
And it is my intention to go out and earn this nomination and to win. So in the days and weeks ahead, I, together with you, will do everything in my power to unite our Democratic Party, to unite our nation, and to win this election. You know, as many of you know, before I was elected as vice president, before I was elected as United States Senator, I was the elected Attorney General, as I've mentioned, of California, and before that I was a courtroom prosecutor. In those roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds.
Jab at Trump.
Predators who abused women. Fraudsters who ripped off consumers. Cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. And in this campaign, I will proudly put my record against his. As a young prosecutor, when I was in the Alameda County District Attorney's Office in California, I specialized in cases involving sexual abuse. Donald Trump was found liable by a jury for committing sexual abuse. As Attorney General of California, I took on one of our country's largest for-profit colleges and put it out of business. Donald Trump ran a for-profit college, Trump University, that was forced to pay $25 million to the students it scammed. As district attorney, to go after polluters, I created one of the first environmental justice units in our nation. Donald Trump stood in Mar-a-Lago and told big oil lobbyists he would do their bidding for a $1 billion campaign contribution. During the foreclosure crisis, I took on the big Wall Street banks and won $20 billion for California families, holding those banks accountable for fraud. Donald Trump was just found guilty of 34 counts of fraud. But make no mistake, all of that being said, this campaign is not just about us versus Donald Trump. There is more to this campaign than that. Our campaign has always been about two different versions of what we see as the future of our country, two different visions for the future of our country. One focused on the future, the other focused on the past. Donald Trump wants to take our country backward to a time before many of our fellow Americans had full freedoms and rights. But we believe in a brighter future that makes room for all Americans. We believe in a future where every person has the opportunity not just to get by, but to get ahead. We believe in a future where no child has to grow up in poverty, where every person can buy a home, start a family, and build wealth, and where every person has access to paid family leave and affordable child care. That's the future we see. Together we fight to build a nation where every person has affordable health care, where every worker is paid fairly, and where every senior can retire with dignity. All of this is to say, building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency. Because we here know when our middle class is strong, America is strong. And we know that's not the future Donald Trump is fighting for. He and He and his extreme Project 2025 will weaken the middle class and bring us backward. Please do note that.
Weaken.
Back to the failed trickle-down policies that gave huge
It's
tax
non-existent right
breaks to
now.
billionaires and big corporations and made working families pay the cost. Back to policies that put Social Security and Medicare on the chopping block. Back to policies that treat health care as only a privilege for the wealthy instead of what we all know it should be, which is a right for every American. America has tried these economic policies before. They do not lead to prosperity. They lead to inequity and economic injustice. And we are not going back. We are not going back. They're not taking us back. Our fight for the future is also a fight for freedom. Generations of Americans before us have led the fight for freedom, from our founders to our framers, to the abolitionists and the suffragettes, to the freedom riders and farm workers. And now I say, team, the baton is in our hands. We who believe in the sacred freedom to vote. We who are committed to fight to pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act and the Freedom to Vote Act. We who believe in the freedom to live safe from gun violence. And that's why we will work to pass universal background checks, red flag laws, and an assault weapons ban. We who will fight for reproductive freedom, knowing if Trump gets the chance, he will sign a national abortion ban to outlaw abortion in every single state, but we are not going to let that happen. It is this team here that is going to help in this November to elect a majority of members of the United States Congress who agree the government should not be telling a woman what to do with her body. And when Congress passes a law to restore reproductive freedoms, as President of the United States, I will sign it into law. Indeed, we the people. So ultimately, to all the friends here, I say, in this election, we know we each face a question: what kind of country do we want to live in? A country of freedom, compassion, and rule of law? Yes! Or a country of chaos, fear, and hate? No. You all are here because you as leaders know we each, including our neighbors and our friends and our family, we each as Americans have the power to answer that question. That's the beauty of it, the power of the people. We each have the ability to answer that question. So in the next 106 days, we have work to do. We have doors to knock on. We have people to talk to. We have phone calls to make. And we have an election to win.
Don't knock at my door.
So, are you ready to get to work? Do we believe in freedom? Do we believe in opportunity? Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we willing to fight for it? And when we fight, we win. God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America and Joe Biden.
All right.
It's Kamala. Like, she glazed for 10 minutes, and then she said her plan that she's going to try and implement these things like any other politician says. glaze.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I expect, honestly.
Yeah.
It's the first speech as her being endorsed to run for president, so I don't really expect to hear much yet.
Yeah.
But campaigning, she's got 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she better use all that money she collected that people put up.
My thing is, she's the VP.
Yeah.
She should have been. I think she should have been, as a VP, she should have been out there more with her face. I ain't never see Kamala. Kamala be in the back with the sun hat on, blocking everything. Like, I never had a problem with her as far as her education, what she did before as being a prosecutor and a DA. I know a lot of people don't like her because of that.
Yeah.
She got hired to do a job. I can't be mad at somebody who gets hired to do a job and does it well.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Y'all niggas shouldn't have been doing crime. That's how I look at it. Like, come on. Like, what is she supposed to do? Not prosecute? And that's what she's getting paid to do. If you pay to bag groceries and you don't bag groceries, you get fired. That's how I look at it. Yeah. So I don't hold that against her. She did her job.
Yeah.
When she ran for presidency in 2020, she just wasn't that strong. I don't know, maybe being a VP now gave her some more insight on how to, maneuver.
Yeah.
But good for her.
Possibly. I mean, we'll see what happens. Yeah. I'm hoping that I see her more in the next 3 months. She better be campaigning super hard.
I'll tell you this, YouTube commercials are banging her line. Like, every commercial I get, it be like, I'm Kamala Harris. And with $10, you can donate to my campaign fund. And I'm like, God damn, I just saw this commercial. She be in different outfits, and it's the same speech.
Like her mentioning the middle class, there is no middle class.
No.
It does not exist. It just doesn't. So for me, her talking about, without the middle class, man.
It's like that meme. As soon as you become middle class, you realize you ain't middle class. You're still in poverty.
The wealthy are the only ones benefiting in this country and have been for the ages.
Housing market's out of control. Inflation's still out of control. I don't care if it's stabilized at the high ass inflation that it's at. It's still out of control. People aren't making the money to afford to live the American dream, let alone have the money to even have the dream while they sleep. You can't even afford the dream while you're sleeping.
The American dream is dead. I said that a long time ago. Yeah. Many podcasts ago. I said the American dream is dead.
Yeah.
Corporations have taken over and they're buying houses and renting them out, and that's
flipping them for way more money. Flipping them for profit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and I get it, but yeah, the American dream's done.
Yeah,
it's going to be a long time before we see any change.
Yeah,
there's too many. We're living in the greed era. Everybody's greedy.
Yeah,
they want all this money for a shitty ass apartment, a shitty house. Mm-hmm. Because it's sad. It's really sad.
Yeah.
The other thing that she mentioned was the whole reproductive system thing with the abortions and a ban across the U.S. by Trump and all of that. I don't understand and never will understand how anyone, especially a man, can dictate what a woman can do with her own body. I don't get that. I will never understand that. That's something that I think if you're not out there, like, if you're pro-life, you're pro-life. But, if it's someone's decision to do that, I think it's on them. And why the fuck do you care? How is that affecting you? What does that do for you? We should ban abortions. They're killing these babies. But you guys, not you guys, this country, as a country, you can't even take care of your own. The homeless, the veterans, like you can't even take care of your own children. And you want to tell somebody how to take care of theirs, or that they can't, do what they got to do to deal with that. I don't get it.
Well, in regards to female reproduction system law, whatever, I really don't give a shit about it. It's, for me, it's like whatever the majority of the women want, that's how I'm voting.
Yeah.
Like I'm not pro-choice and I'm not pro-life. I'm pro whatever she wants to do with her body is what she's gonna do with her body. Those type of things, I don't really have any dog in the fight.
Yeah.
It has nothing really to do with me as far as that goes. Like, I'm not, how the audacity of me to say when somebody can do what they want to do to their body. That's like me telling, only time I would say something like that where I don't agree with things is I do not agree with children having elective surgeries of any kind.
Okay.
I think they should at least reach 18 years old.
Are you talking about hormone
All of it.
replacement?
All of it.
Or whatever.
All of it.
I get you.
All of it. Plastic surgery, elective surgeries. If it's not something that you got scarred as a kid when this happened, and you're as a child that your parents are getting you plastic surgery to fix what just happened because of this freak accident.
But you don't think that it should be allowed, or you don't like?
I don't think that children should have those type of surgeries until they're at least 18. Because I feel.
Do you feel that should be a law?
No, I don't feel that it should be a law. I'm saying I don't feel it's right. Whether I don't feel that it should be a law because I feel like government shouldn't be meddling in people's affairs. Mm-hmm. But I don't agree with those type of surgeries.
No, I understand that. I'm just trying to I'm trying to get some clarity here. For me, I don't give a fuck if the parent is taking them and that's what the kid wants to do, and the parent wants to go ahead and do that with their child. That's on them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's where I stand on that. If that's what they want to do, so be it. I'm not going to sit here and be like, "Oh no, you shouldn't do that." You know what I mean? That's their child, and if that's what they want to do with their child, and that's on them.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't care what.
No, I know.
I don't agree
my
with it.
Position on that.
I don't agree with it, but I don't care what someone does. That's why I said I feel like all those what are they called? I can't even think right now. What are they?
I don't agree or
surgeries.
disagree. I really have nothing to say about that, because it has nothing to do with me. And if that's what someone wants to do, then they should do it. Just like any other fucking thing that they want to do. You know what I mean? Within the legal, within any kind of legal shit that, you don't get in trouble for or something like.
Yeah.
That's
what I said. I don't agree with it. I don't want it to be a law. I don't think it should be a law. I don't also want government meddling into people's affairs like that. Everything doesn't need to be a law.
That's true.
But
anyway, so
hold on. I wasn't
go ahead.
done.
Sorry. It's just we're kind of stuck here.
All right. Well, everything doesn't need to be a law, and again, government shouldn't be meddling in people's affairs like that. I think it should actually come up to the doctor and the parent, and I think the doctor shouldn't do surgeries or things that they disagree with. Mm-hmm. There's plenty of other doctors, but they're out there to get that cash, so
whatever.
They'll do whatever.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. To me it's more of a moral thing. Like, I feel like children shouldn't be messed with like that until they've at least become 18.
No, I hear you.
They have a better understanding. I mean, they're still not 100% fully cooked in the brain, but at least they have some kind of wherewithal. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I get it. I completely understand. I just, like I said, I said what I said.
Yeah.
for me. But my whole thing with the whole reproductive system and laws on that, like, I don't think anybody should be telling anybody what to do with their body.
Yeah.
You know?
Again, if they're going to vote, if it's going to be some kind of law, then, and I get to vote on it, then I'm going to vote on whatever women are in the majority with, because I really don't give a shit. I don't have the organs that they're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not something for me to say one way or the other. As far as everything else that she was saying, she really didn't say much of nothing. She kind of just whatever through it, kind of laid out bullet points of what she wants to do. My thing is, if these are things that she wanted to do, what did she do while she was a VP? Because I have no idea.
She's limited on power.
Yeah, but she can plant them seeds in old Joe's head. Even if she got to put it on a Post-it note, put it on his brief.
I hate to say this, but I mean, are they listening? Are they listening? What if she is and they're not listening? Why? Because she's a woman, and that's just how women are treated. You know, it may not always be like that, but it can be like that.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're putting down. I just, the way that her and Joe seem, that's not their type of relationship.
I don't know. I don't know.
As much glazing as she did.
I don't know them like that.
Yeah, as much glazing as she just did in the speech for Joe Biden, talking about how he was from Scranton from 1910. He invented the electricity in the wheel in Scranton.
Speaking of Joe Biden, he gave his speech.
Yeah, his exit speech.
Yeah.
First exit. Exit number 1.
All right, I'm going to play it.
Because win, lose, or draw, he said he's leaving.
I'm speaking to you tonight from behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office. In this sacred space, I'm surrounded by portraits of extraordinary American presidents. Thomas Jefferson wrote the immortal words that guide this nation. George Washington, who showed us presidents are not kings. Abraham Lincoln, who implored us to reject malice. Franklin Roosevelt, who inspired us to reject fear. I revere this office, but I love my country more. It's been the honor of my life to serve as your president. But in the defense of democracy, which is at stake, I think it's more important than any title. I draw strength and I find joy in working for the American people. But this sacred task of perfecting our union is not about me. It's about you.
He better not tell me about Scranton.
Your families, your futures. It's about we the people. And we can never forget that.
1805, I was in
And
Scranton.
I never have. I've made it clear that I believe America is at an inflection point. One of those rare moments in history when the decisions we make now will determine our fate of our nation and the world for decades to come. America's going to have to choose between moving forward or backward, between hope and hate, between unity and division. We have to decide, do we still believe in honesty, decency, respect, freedom, justice, and democracy? In this moment, we can see those we disagree with not as enemies, but as fellow Americans. Can we do that? Does character in public life still matter?
Smells so good.
I believe I know the answer to
I
these
see the
questions.
teleprompter behind it.
Because I know you, the American people.
You see it?
And I
We
know
all use
this.
No, I know.
We are a
I'm just
great
saying, I
nation.
see it.
Because we are good people. When you elected me to this office, I promised to always level with you,
I had black hair then.
to tell you the truth. And the truth, the sacred cause of this country is larger than any one of us. And those of us who cherish that cause, cherish it so much, a cause of American democracy itself, must unite to protect it. You know, in recent weeks, it's become clear to me that I need to unite my party in this critical endeavor. I believe my record as president, my leadership in the world, my vision for America's future, all merited a second term. But nothing can come in the way of saving our democracy. That includes personal ambition. So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. That's the best way to unite our nation. You know, there is a time and a place for long years of experience in public life. But there's also a time and a place for new voices, fresh voices, yes, younger voices. And that time and place is now. Over the next 6 months, I'll be focused on doing my job as president. That means I'll continue to lower costs for hardworking families, grow our economy. I'll keep defending our personal freedoms and our civil rights, from the right to vote to the right to choose. I'll keep calling out hate and extremism. Make it clear there is no place in America for political violence or any violence ever, period. I'm going to keep speaking out to protect our kids from gun violence, our planet from climate crisis that is the existential threat. And I will keep fighting for my cancer moonshot so we can end cancer as we know it, because we can do it. And I'm going to call for Supreme Court reform because this is critical to our democracy, Supreme Court reform. You know, I will keep working to ensure America remains strong and secure and the leader of the free world. I'm the first president in this century to report to the American people that the United States is not at war anywhere in the world. We'll keep rallying a coalition of proud nations to stop Putin from taking over Ukraine, doing more damage. We'll keep NATO stronger, and I'll make it more powerful and more united than any time in all of our history. I'll keep doing the same for our allies in the Pacific.
NATO Jenkins.
You know, when I came to office,
No, NATO.
the conventional wisdom was that China would inevitably surpass the United States. That's not the case anymore. And I'm going to keep working to end the war in Gaza, bring home all the hostages, and bring peace and security to the Middle East and end this war. We're also working around the clock to bring home Americans being unjustly detained all around the world. You know, we've come so far since my inauguration.
You got that COVID.
On that day, I told you, as I stood in that winter, we stood in a winter peril and a winter of possibilities.
Throat dry.
Peril and possibilities. We were in the grip of the worst pandemic in a century, the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression, the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. But we came together as Americans, and we got through it.
How the fuck y'all
We emerged stronger, more prosperous, and more secure. Today, we have the strongest economy in the world, creating nearly 16 million new jobs, a record.
We give our money
Wages
to
are up.
Ukraine.
Inflation continues to come down. The racial wealth gap is the lowest it's been in 20 years. We're literally rebuilding our entire nation, urban, suburban, rural, and tribal communities. Manufacturing has come back to America. We're leading the world again in chips and science and innovation. We finally beat Big Pharma after all these years to lower the cost of prescription drugs for seniors. And I'm going to keep fighting to make sure we lower the cost for everyone, not just seniors. More people have health care today in America than ever before. And I signed one of the most significant laws helping millions of veterans and their families who are exposed to toxic materials. You know, the most significant climate law ever in the history of the world. The first major gun safety law in 30 years. And today, the violent crime rate is at a 50-year low. We're also securing our border. Border crossings are lower today than when the previous administration left office. I've kept my commitment to appoint the first black woman to the Supreme Court of the United States of America. I also kept my commitment to have an administration that looks like America and be a president for all Americans. That's what I've done. I ran for president 4 years ago because I believed and still do that the soul of America was at stake. The very nature of who we are was at stake. And that's still the case. America's an idea. An idea stronger than any army, bigger than any ocean, more powerful than any dictator or tyrant. It's the most powerful idea in the history of the world.
America.
That idea is that we hold these truths to be self-evident. We're all created equal, endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights: life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. We've
President
never
needs
fully
hype
lived up
man.
to it, to this sacred idea, but we've never walked away from it either. And I do not believe the American people will walk away from it now.
Goddamn, Joe.
Just a few months,
Swallows.
the American people will choose the course of America's future. I made my choice. I've made my views known.
Goddamn.
I would like to thank our great
Turn the
Vice
mic
President
down.
Kamala Harris. She's experienced, she's tough, she's capable. She's been an incredible partner to me and a leader for our country. Now the choice is up to you, the American people. When you make that choice, remember the words of Benjamin Franklin hanging on my wall here in the Oval Office, alongside the busts of Dr. King and Rosa Parks and Cesar Chavez. When Ben Franklin was asked, as he emerged from the convention going on,
God damn it, Joe.
whether the founders have given America
1776
a
is
monarchy
scratch.
republic, Franklin's response was, a republic, if you can keep it. A republic, if you can keep it. Whether we keep our republic is now in your hands. My fellow Americans, it's been the privilege of my life to serve this nation for over 50 years. Nowhere else on earth could a kid with a stutter, from modest beginnings in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Claremont, Delaware, one day sit behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office as President of the United States. But here I am. That's what's so special about America. We're a nation of promise and possibilities, of dreamers and doers, of ordinary Americans doing extraordinary things. I've given my heart and my soul to our nation, like so many others. I've been blessed a million times in return with the love and support of the American people. I hope you have some idea how grateful I am to all of you. The great thing about America is here, kings and dictators do not rule, the people do. History is in your hands. The power is in your hands. The idea of America lies in your hands. We just have to keep faith, keep the faith, and remember who we are. We're the United States of America.
America.
And there's simply nothing beyond our capacity when we do it together. So let's act together, preserve our democracy. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops.
He didn't say God bless America. God damn it. It's America, Joe. It's America. Goddamn America. He said a whole lot of nothing. But I didn't expect him to have anything really worthwhile to say.
No, I did appreciate him saying that we need younger voices.
That was the most. That was the bullet point for me. That he's saying us old timers need to go ahead and fall back.
It's time. Yes. He mentioned medicine for the elderly, and for everyone. Yeah, seniors. Sorry. And basically cheaper medicine for everyone. But my thing is, why isn't the United States of America, why don't they have their own pharmaceutical company? Why aren't they, these companies make billions on top of billions why aren't you doing that for us? Why aren't you in that business? Like the internet got away from them. I remember hearing that they were offered the internet and they passed on it. Mm-hmm. And they could have capitalized on that.
So I don't mean to cut you off. I don't mean to cut you off. But I wanna say what it sounds like you're saying is what the whole argument behind the healthcare is.
Yeah.
Socialized healthcare versus capitalistic healthcare that we currently kind of have.
Well, yeah. I don't understand why we as a nation aren't in the business of pharmaceuticals. so that way it can be affordable to everybody instead of these fucking greedy people running these pharmaceutical companies and getting rich off of sick people and keeping us all sick. You know, so like, I don't understand. But whatever. What the fuck do I know? Just another American living in this nation.
Two things. Well, one thing for sure.
Yeah.
There is no money in the cure. There is only money in having you live a life comfortable while being sick, so you can continue spending them insurance dollars or that out-of-pocket cost.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, why? You know, you want to fix something, fix that. You were able to do. You know, we have Medi-Cal, Medicare, whatever the fuck. You know, and we're all paying for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how are we not getting pharmaceuticals from the government and pay for that? That's a whole, you know, part of Medi-Cal, Medicare, our fucking taxes.
Yeah.
Like, what are we paying for our money being sent overseas? Like, that's crazy. Sticking our noses in other fucking countries, trying to fight their fights, all for diplomacy. Fuck all that. For me. For me, it's about us here. Let's take care of us here. And that's not what's happening. We're too concerned. Not us. Our government is too concerned with playing their cards right with other countries. And I understand there's trades and all these fucking deals and all this shit, but like, man.
America is the
Too
police
much
of the
money.
world, and it's unfortunate. And as far as the healthcare situation with Medicare, Medicaid, I think that once you get Medicare, Medicaid, whatever the hell it is, whatever government assisted healthcare that you get, you should not have to sign up for the drug side, the Plan D. It should automatically be there. You sign up for Medicare, you sign up for Medicaid, you get Plan D with it. You have to opt out, but you're automatically opt in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's all a game. It's all money, and, you know, it's not about people. People don't matter. It's about what, you know, their money, basically.
Yeah. Well,
Everybody's a check.
like I said, I feel like a lot of these things could be cured a lot sooner, but that's not where the money's at. So why
No,
focus?
and it's all this stupid, like, oh, there's all this red tape. Really? I don't know about red tape.
Ain't no red tape.
There ain't no red tape when you take my money.
Yeah, ain't no red tape, but, you know, they make more money out of you if you have to live with it, and they can just keep you on drugs to keep.
But that's what I'm
your
saying.
illnesses
Like,
down.
the government should have their own shit. And, you know, you want to talk about making money. Why not make money that way? You know, people get sick. People are sick. You know, make a cheaper fucking medication. That way we don't have to rely on these pharmaceutical companies, and we're relying on our own pharmaceutical, government pharmaceuticals. But then nobody trusts the government. Is the government killing us? Are they drugging us? What's happening? You know, so it's man, we're so paranoid. I know.
A couple of things with that too, I think, has to do with patents. Some of these companies have patents on certain medications and things like that.
Okay,
so.
but you make a generic fucking brand, just like every other fucking company did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's not just one type of ibuprofen. Like, there's not one type of aspirin. Like, you know what I'm saying? Vicodin.
I think it is. I think that it's just they have lease rights for it.
Whatever.
But that's
There's
neither
a way.
here or there.
There's a fucking way.
That's either here
But they
or
don't
there.
want to find the way.
No. Again,
So-
there's no money in that.
No, exactly.
We live in a capitalistic society. We got to make that money.
Yeah.
The
It's
more
too bad
the more
we're the
time
ones
you
suffering, though.
the more you can work and pay this money out, the better they are.
All right, let's move on. So last week there was a story about a young woman named Sonya Massey, who was shot in the face by a police officer. She called them because she thought there was someone outside of her house lurking, so she was afraid, and she called them. They showed up, and that's what happened. It went down from there. Yeah. We have the video, so.
Viewer discretion. This may be violent content, so viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah, you have an ID. That'd make things so much easier. I just.
So I take it that's her.
Just driver's license will do, and then I'll get out of your hair.
Mind you, I haven't seen any of this.
I want to show y'all my paperwork.
I've kind of been radio silent on it.
What paperwork?
I got some paperwork.
Well, just get your ID real quick.
Well, let's get your ID first, and then.
One task at a time here.
Okay, let me.
Here, grab your ID for me.
Hold on. Okay.
Your ID. One task at a time. So let's do an ID, and then you can dig around for your paperwork.
I don't know where my ID is.
You just in that stack right there, maybe.
Okay. 1 second.
Just check on her.
Let me look this.
No, we don't need a fire while we're here.
All right.
So she has a pot of water boiling on the stove, and they tell her to go cut it off. We don't want a fire, yada, yada. That. So that's what she's doing, so.
Let me see. Okay. Where you going?
Huh?
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Huh?
I rebuke you in the name of
You better fucking not. I swear to God, I'll fucking shoot you right in your fucking face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the fucking pot! Drop the fucking pot! Drop the fucking pot!
19 shots fired.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Drop the fucking pot! Bring EMS now. We got a headshot wound to the female. Headshot wound to the female. 1078. Fuck.
I was on. I'm gonna go get my kit.
Now, your head's stuck, dude. She's done.
Do you want to finish the last 10 seconds?
I don't think it's necessary.
All right, so.
I mean, you know what? Yeah, go ahead. Let's see this last 10 seconds.
You can go get it, but that's a headshot.
Yeah, you done fucked
God
up.
damn it.
Yeah, you fucked up.
Fuck.
Yeah, y'all
you have an
motherfuckers
ID
fucked up.
So, based on this video for me, she already looks nervous with them.
Yeah.
She's allowed them into her home. I don't know what paperwork she was talking about, but the way she looks at him was very, she was very afraid of him. I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy. I just don't understand how you can come into someone's house and shoot them, and she did not look like she was going to throw anything. She was taking the pot off of the stove. She had, what are they called? Pot holders, and she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And then he said, what did you say? And she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Now, I hate that this happened to her, but what if this piece of shit cop, because I'm going to call him that for what he did to this woman, what if he didn't understand what she said? What if he doesn't know what rebuke means because he's that fucking dumb and thought that was a threat that he ain't never heard before? You know what I mean? Why? Because it just went from nothing to everything in 0.5 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't care if he knew what rebuke meant or what the phrase meant. Why the fuck are you pulling out lethal weaponry on a woman who's holding a pot, who's clearly about 10 feet away from you? Why don't you have a taser? What the fuck? That's automatic. Bullshit. I hope he does. I know he got charged, and I hope he does go to jail, and I hope
arrested.
They beat the brakes off of his ass.
He was arrested for this. And apparently I saw today that there's recordings where he's lied about some of the stuff that he's done when he's out in the field. And he's been questioned, and his superior was like, how am I supposed to trust you? But he trusted him enough to come out here and murder this woman.
Yeah.
She just, for me, like, I'm gonna just be honest with you, I feel like she was afraid from the beginning, just based on her
body language.
Yes, sorry, I couldn't think of it. Based on her body language, and she just seemed so nervous around them and scared. You know what I mean? Not like she was going to do something, but like she was afraid already that they were going to do something to her. And she's like, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. I don't see how that's wrong. And he's like, you better not. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? So for me, it was very, I felt like this started very, I feel like spiritual. You know what I mean? She's afraid already with them being in her house. And she called them to protect her. I don't understand how you call them to protect you and you end up dead.
It happens all the time. And,
no, I know it does.
And, her being scared of the sequential Ocha who's there, white devil, who is there armed to the teeth.
Is afraid of this tiny woman.
I understand why she's afraid. A lot of black people are afraid of the police, whether they are doing criminal activity or non-criminal activity. Black people have, and just people of color have gone through so much police abuse throughout eternity in America, that I totally understand why she's nervous and panicked, because it's bad vibes,
Yeah, absolutely.
And the fact that, like I said,
she felt his energy from the beginning.
The fact that he pulled out a firearm to use deadly force on someone who's that far away. I don't understand where his taser is. Again, I understand that sometimes you have to shoot as a cop. It is what it is. It's a dirty job. Sometimes you got to get down in the mud too, because that's where it's at. You know what I mean? If people are shooting at you, I expect the police to shoot back at them. You know what I mean?
Like, he didn't even want to save her.
But this was not that case. This was not that type of situation. This is the thing where, as you saw with me, black people are always the what is it? They're not the victim.
They're the aggressor.
They're the suspect. We're proven guilty before we're proven innocent. And it's a terrible shame. It's a stain on humanity, and I hope that he goes to jail, and I hope they beat the brakes off his ass, and in the words of Samuel L. Jackson, I hope they burn in hell. Fuck them. That was uncalled for.
No, absolutely.
That was completely uncalled for. That level of aggression and violence to this poor woman was not called for. No, murdered this woman in her kitchen holding a pot. Goddamn, what is America coming to?
Like,
what is humanity coming to?
Some people are like, well, he was afraid that she was going to throw the water. And that's why I say, like, he was that dumb to not know what rebuke means.
This man has a firearm. I don't care how much hot water he thinks she's gonna pour on him. She has to cock back. Why did he shoot her in the head? Why didn't he shoot her in the? Why didn't he wing her? Why didn't he shoot her in the leg?
We had the same thought at the same time.
If you're such a crack shot that you can shoot her in the head, why not shoot her in the leg? Why not shoot her in the arm? You're a crack shot. You shot her in the head.
She felt his energy from the fucking beginning.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Just based off of how she's behaving. She felt that energy from him.
He's the type of cop that goes home and beats his wife. I feel like
that's why she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. She felt his energy. And
like I said,
that was Sorry.
That's what. No, I don't mean to cut you off, but yeah.
You do.
No, I don't. I just feel
But
like
you do, though.
he's just the type of cop that goes home and beats his wife. He's the type of cop that pull over people and just fucking terrorize them for no reason.
I can see that. Yeah,
he's a piece of shit. He shouldn't be on the force, and this is what makes the police departments across the nation look bad, because they have people on their force that have known, apparently from what you're saying, disciplinary action, and they continue to let them ride.
Yeah, it's because of that whole, camaraderie that they have. Like, we got to stick together, boys in blue, and all yada yada.
They're gang shit.
Pretty much.
It's a gang shit.
I mean, there's good cops out there.
There are plenty of them. I know some, but
this is not one of them.
I look at it,
and his partner was even like, I'm gonna go get my kit. Like, I was so happy when he said that, and this fuckface was like, no, it's a headshot. And he said, I'm on. And I know that a lot of people were saying, like, he was pissed that, because he didn't have his camera on, supposedly. I don't know how true that is, but
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like them body cams, they shouldn't be able to turn them off. They should automatically come on. They should just automatically be on. They should have on their utility belt battery pack that motherfucker just sits on standby, and it won't go off, and they can't just turn it off or mute the audio. It's bullshit. And it should be sent to the cloud. But whatever.
Yeah, so
I pray
a
for
lot of
her
people
family.
we're absolutely outraged over this. I was.
Yeah.
I can't believe you would murder this woman in her home over a fucking pot of water. And look at this man. He's fucking huge compared to her. She's a small woman. And you murdered this woman in her home. And she invited you in because she didn't feel safe because she thought someone was outside. And then you came in and killed her in her own house. Yeah. Learn what rebuke means, you dumb fuck. You'll have plenty of time in jail now. Pick up a dictionary and read the definition, you fucking idiot. Because she wasn't threatening you. She was telling you, I rebuke you because you an evil motherfucker, and she felt your fucking energy.
Again, this lady was showing no signs of
aggressiveness,
aggression whatsoever. I didn't see anything from her that would show aggression. Even with him, at first, I did not see any real signs of aggression towards, the situation. He seemed like he was being very curt with her. Cops are usually like that. But all that bullshit that he did once she said rebuke, and his whole demeanor changed and everything.
That's
like
crazy.
The beginning of the video.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's stupid and doesn't know what rebuke means.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
On a police department. He shouldn't be on a police force.
Fucking moron.
And that's why I feel that police officers need at least 2 years of training before they can be on the street. They get less time training than a barber, someone who cuts hair.
No matter what happened, no matter how this went down, it shouldn't have gone down the way it did. Like, this never should have happened. No. Never should have. As soon as he felt threatened, he should have walked out. She had a fucking pot. A pot. Not a gun. She didn't have anything but a pot and was killed.
Or backed up.
No, but he should have walked out. They should have walked out.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, at the very minimum.
You have the opportunity. It's water. But you shoot her in the fucking face?
Yeah.
It's water. Yes, it's hot water. It's boiling hot water, but you shoot her in the face.
Yeah.
That was the decision.
Yeah. Again, at the bare minimum, he should have backed up even further than where he was.
But that's what I'm telling you. And that's why she was like, why are you backing up? And he was like, nah, you got hot water, blah, blah, blah. And that's when she was like, I'm telling you, she felt his energy.
Yeah.
She felt his energy. She knew he wasn't right.
Yeah.
How sad for her. My heart goes out to her family. Like, this is just a horrible way to end for your life to end.
Yeah.
You know, and if they get any money, any type of monetary compensation from this, it's never enough.
No.
It's never enough because I believe she had 2 children, and it's never going to be enough for them. You know, she's no longer here. You can't replace that with money. You just can't. And people are like, oh, well, it helps. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
When you lose your mother, like, even if it's not by some tragic bullshit like this, if you love your parents at all, you know, it's a hard loss. So money ain't going to help that loss. It's not going to fill that void. It won't help you later on in life when you decide to have your own kids. And, you know, just so many things that parents do for you. Money can't fill that. That's so sad.
Yeah. So that's how I feel about it. I feel like their family should get the police force named after them. He should
After her.
Yeah. It should be called Massey Police Department. Mm-hmm. He should go to jail for the rest of his living life. And I hope every day they find a way to beat the brakes off of him. And when he heals up, they continue doing it again. Same with his partner. I don't know about his partner, but partner gets the same treatment, but just not as bad. He gets every other day.
I can't say that for him because he was just standing around, looking around. He wasn't really engaged. He was engaged. The other guy that shot her in the face, he was the one that was fully engaging with her. And the other guy was just kind of there, you know, and he even said, like, I'm going to go get my kid. Like, he seemed like, I can help. Like, I heard it in his voice, like, let me at least try and help her. And he was like, nah, it's a headshot. Like, why the fuck wouldn't you want to help her, you piece of shit?
I hear you on that.
You're a
but
fucking asshole.
I hear you on that, but I don't hear you on that because
I understand.
His partner knew what kind of person he was.
Well, I mean, what choice do you have? I mean, what choice do you have, really? If you go against him, then they treat you a certain way. That's how they are in their police gang. You know what I mean? You can't go against anybody, so you're kind of stuck with people.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is his partner knew how he was. His partner should have took control of that situation before it got to where it was. When his partner saw him reach for his gun, his partner should have automatically de-escalated that scene. His partner drew his weapon second, after he was fully extended with his pistol. Before that, he had his hand on his pistol and he was about to unholster it. That's when his partner should have stepped in. So yes, his partner gets some of that blame too from me.
Okay, I could see that.
So that's what I'm saying. And then when they leave, they go get in the car, and his partner gets to tell him about himself. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Like, you need to calm that shit down. Like,
yeah, and even after he came out of the house and all the other police officers are there, and he's like, he called her a crazy bitch. I'm like, why?
He's got to try.
Why is she a crazy bitch?
Like, he don't want to go to jail.
Apparently, he lied a lot about this whole situation before he even got arrested. Yeah, what a fucking asshole.
Yeah, well, you know, there are piece of shit cops everywhere. Unfortunately, we had to witness that.
That's sad. I'm sorry. My heart goes out to her family.
Yeah. My heart goes out to her family. My condolences to her family. I hope they get the justice that they're looking for. And yeah.
Yeah.
On that somber note, you have anything else?
Peace.
Peace.